I knew the messages were coming from me because they knew things nobody else could know. Not my password, not my birthday, not my mother's maiden name. They knew the tiny, useless details. The way I cracked my left knuckle when I lied. The name of the girl I never told anyone I still searched online once a month. The exact phrase my dad said to me the night before he died. The first message was only 3 words. Don't go home. It came from my own number. At 11:42 p.m. on a Tuesday, I was sitting in my car outside a gas station on Route 19, eating a stale turkey sandwich under fluorescent lights that buzzed like insects. I had just finished a late shift at the warehouse. My shirt smelled like cardboard dust and sweat. My eyes burned. The kind of tired where you feel hollow behind your face. My phone vibrated in the cup holder. At first, I thought it was spam. Then I saw the sender, me, same number, same contact photo, same stupid picture of me holding a fish I barely caught 3 summers ago. I stared at it for a few seconds, chewing slowly. Don't go home. I actually laughed. Not because it was funny, because my brain didn't know what else to do. I checked the details. Same number. No weird email address. No foreign code. Nothing. I texted back. Who is this? The reply came almost instantly. You know who it is. Start driving. Not home. Anywhere else. The gas station lights flickered once, and the whole parking lot seemed to blink. I looked around. There were 2 pumps, both empty. A dented soda machine. A trash can overflowing with coffee cups. Across the street, a closed tire shop with dark windows. No one was watching me. At least, no one I could see. I locked the car doors. My first thought was that it had to be some kind of app. Spoofing. A prank. Maybe someone at work got my number and decided to mess with me. I had argued with a guy named Terry earlier that night because he kept leaving pallets in my section. He was exactly the kind of grown man who thought fake texts were comedy. So I called my own number. My phone showed an outgoing call to myself. Then, from the back seat, something rang. I froze. It was quiet at first, muffled under the pile of hoodies and fast food wrappers I kept meaning to clean out. A soft buzzing ringtone. My ringtone. I didn't move. The sound kept going. BZZZZ. 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 The hair on my arms lifted. Slowly, I turned around. There was no one in the back seat. Just clothes, an empty water bottle, an old gym bag. The ringing stopped. I grabbed my phone with both hands and ended the call, even though it had already disconnected. My breathing sounded too loud in the car. Then another text came. Drive now. This time, I listened. I started the engine and pulled out of the gas station so fast the tires scraped over the curb. I didn't go home. I drove toward the highway. For the first 10 minutes, nothing happened. No messages. No strange cars. No shadow in the mirror. Just black road, orange streetlights, and the low hum of my old Honda vibrating through the steering wheel. My apartment was only 12 minutes from the warehouse. I knew every turn without thinking. But now I was going the opposite direction, toward the industrial district, where the roads widened and the buildings sat far apart. Behind chain-link fences, my phone vibrated again. Good. Keep going until the bridge. I swallowed. There was a bridge about 5 miles ahead. A low concrete overpass above the freight tracks. I typed with one thumb while driving. Prove you're me. The reply took longer this time. Maybe 10 seconds. When you were 9, you put a dead wasp in your teacher's desk because she made you read out loud. You cried in the bathroom after because you thought you'd killed it. My mouth went dry. I had never told anyone that. Not my parents. Not my friends. Not even my ex. I almost threw the phone. Instead, I gripped the wheel harder. The road narrowed as I got closer to the bridge. Trees pressed in on both sides. Bare branches scraping together in the wind. My headlights swept over a sign. Railroad crossing, low clearance. Another text. Do not slow down under the bridge. My foot hovered over the gas. The bridge came into view. Just a dark rectangle ahead, The road passing underneath like a throat. Something was standing beneath it. At first, I thought it was a trash bag caught on a post. Then my headlights hit it. A person. Still. Upright. Facing the road. Facing me. I couldn't see their face. They wore a grey hoodie. The hood pulled low. Their hands hung straight down at their sides. I wanted to brake. Every instinct in my body screamed to brake. Then my phone buzzed violently in my hand. Don't. I pressed the gas. The engine whined. The figure didn't move until the last second. Then it stepped into my lane. I jerked the wheel and screamed so hard my throat tore. The car swerved, scraped the curb, and shot under the bridge. For half a second the world went black, concrete walls flashing past on both sides. The smell of damp stone filling the car. Something slammed against my rear passenger window. A hand. A flat, pale hand. Then I was through. I looked in the mirror. The figure stood in the road behind me, head turned, watching my taillights disappear. My whole body was shaking. My teeth clicked together. I kept driving until the bridge vanished behind a bend. The next message came. Now you believe me. I pulled into the parking lot of a closed furniture warehouse and stopped under a broken security light. My chest hurt. My hands were so sweaty they slipped on the phone screen. I texted, "What is happening?" The response came in pieces. "I don't have much time. He gets in if you go home. He has been waiting there since 10:17. You didn't see him the first time." The first time. That phrase hit me wrong. I looked at the time. 12:06 a.m. The night smelled like wet asphalt through the cracked window. Somewhere far off, a train horn blew, long and low. I typed, "Who is he?" The answer arrived after almost a full minute. "I don't know. We never found out, My stomach turned. I looked back at the gym bag on the rear seat, the one that had rung. I climbed out of the car. The cold hit me immediately. It cut through my thin work shirt and raised goosebumps along my neck. The parking lot was empty. The furniture warehouse windows were dark, reflecting my car back at me in pieces. I opened the rear door. The smell inside was stale fries and old fabric. I pushed aside the hoodies. Empty. I unzipped the gym bag with 2 fingers. No phone. Just sneakers, a towel, and a half-crushed can of deodorant. I checked under the seats. Nothing. Then my phone buzzed again from the front seat. I flinched so hard I hit my head on the door frame. Don't look for it. That's how he gets close. I grabbed my phone and backed away from the car. For a few seconds, I just stood there under that broken light, watching my own car like it might breathe. Then my screen lit up with another message. "You need to go to Melissa's." Melissa was my sister. She lived 30 minutes away in a little duplex with her husband and their toddler. I hadn't seen her in 3 weeks. We were close, but not show up after midnight close. I texted, "Why?" "Because you need a witness. Because tomorrow you won't believe this. Because he sounds like Mom when he knocks." I almost dropped the phone. My mom had been dead for 6 years. A sick pressure built behind my ears. My breath came shallow. I suddenly became aware of every sound around me. The hiss of wind through the fence. The ticking engine. My own pulse thudding in my ears. Then the phone rang. Incoming call. From me. I stared at it until the screen blurred. I didn't answer. The ringing stopped. A voicemail appeared. I don't know why I played it. Maybe because fear makes you stupid. Maybe because some part of me needed to hear my own voice to prove this was fake. I pressed play. There was static first. Then breathing. My breathing. Then my voice. Whispering so close to the microphone it distorted. "Do not let him hear you answer." A pause. In the background of the voicemail, there was knocking. 3 slow knocks. Then a woman's voice. Soft, warm, familiar. "Sweetheart, open the door. It's cold." My mother's voice. The phone slipped from my hand and clattered onto the pavement. For a moment, I couldn't move. I couldn't even bend down to pick it up. I just stared at the glowing screen on the ground. Another text appeared. "I'm sorry." Then another. "You have to go now." I drove to Melissa's with the radio off and every window locked. The whole way, I kept checking the mirrors. I expected to see the grey hoodie behind me, sitting upright in the back seat, or standing on the shoulder, or running beside the car with that pale hand dragging along the glass. But there was nothing. That was worse somehow. The roads were empty. Houses passed in dark blocks. Traffic lights blinked red over intersections with no cars. Every few minutes, my phone buzzed with directions, like the person texting me didn't trust GPS. Stay on Harper. Don't take the alley shortcut. Turn your headlights off before her street. I didn't understand that last one, but I did it. I rolled slowly into Melissa's neighborhood with the lights off, engine low, tires whispering over wet pavement. Her duplex was dark except for the porch light. I parked across the street. Before I got out, another message came. Tell her the phrase. I stared at it. What phrase? Blue cereal. She'll know. When Melissa was 6, she spilled food coloring into a bowl of cereal and cried because she thought she had poisoned herself. I called it blue cereal for years. Nobody outside our family knew that. I ran to her door. The porch smelled like rain and old wood. My shoes squeaked on the steps. I knocked quietly at first, then harder. A light turned on upstairs. A minute later, Melissa opened the door with a baseball bat in one hand and her robe tied crooked. What the hell, Mark? I must have looked insane. Sweaty. Pale. Breathing too fast. Blue cereal, I said. Her face changed immediately. She lowered the bat. What happened? I pushed inside and locked the door behind me. For the next 20 minutes, I told her everything. The messages, the bridge, the voicemail, Mom's voice. At first, she looked at me like I was having some kind of breakdown. Then I showed her the texts. Her face drained. Mark, she whispered, these are from your number. I know, no. I mean, she opened her phone and showed me my contacts. Our thread. The messages were there too. Every one of them. But in her phone, I was the sender. Her husband, Chris, came downstairs half asleep and angry until he saw us both standing in the kitchen shaking. He checked the doors, then the windows, then the basement. Nothing. We sat at the kitchen table until almost 3 a.m. The house smelled like coffee, baby lotion, and the lemon cleaner Melissa used on everything. Normal smells. Safe smells. For a while, I started to calm down. That was the worst mistake. At 3:12 a.m., my phone buzzed one last time. I can't stop it now. I read it twice. Then the porch light went out. All three of us froze. From upstairs, Melissa's toddler started crying. Chris stood up. No, I said. He looked at me. Then we heard it. 3 slow knocks at the front door. Knock, knock, knock. Melissa covered her mouth. Nobody moved. A voice came from outside. Not loud, not dramatic, just tired and cold. Mark. It was my voice. Exactly my voice. Chris grabbed the baseball bat. The knocking came again. Knock, knock, knock. Mark, open the door, my voice said. I forgot my keys. My phone lit up on the table. A new message. From me. Whatever happens, don't let me in. The door handle turned. Slowly. The deadbolt held. Then the thing outside laughed. It was my laugh too, but wrong. Stretched too wide. Like someone had recorded it and pulled it apart. Melissa was crying silently now. Chris backed away from the door. Then my phone rang. From Melissa's number. But Melissa's phone was on the table beside mine. I looked at her. She looked at me. The ringing continued. I answered before anyone could stop me. Static. Breathing. Then Melissa's voice, whispering. Mark, why did you bring it here? The call ended. Upstairs, the toddler stopped crying. That silence was so sudden it felt physical. Melissa ran for the stairs. I grabbed her arm, but she ripped free. Emma, she screamed. Chris followed her. I stood in the kitchen alone, staring at the front door. Something scratched the wood from the outside. Slowly, deliberately, like a fingernail dragging down paint. Then my phone buzzed. This is where I lost them. I couldn't breathe. The message bubble appeared. Then another. I'm sorry. I tried to change it. But you always come here. Every time. From upstairs came Melissa's scream. Not a surprise scream. Not a frightened scream. A scream that ended too quickly. I ran. At least, I think I did. Memory breaks after that. I remember the hallway light flickering. I remember the smell of hot dust from the vents. I remember Chris shouting my name from somewhere that sounded too far away. I remember reaching Emma's bedroom. The crib was empty. The window was open. The curtains breathed in and out with the wind. And standing in the corner of the room was me. Not a reflection. Not a hallucination. Me. Same work shirt. Same tired eyes. Same blood on my right hand. Although I didn't know whose blood it was yet. He looked older by maybe a day. Maybe years. His lips were cracked. His face was grey. His eyes were so wide they looked painful. He lifted one finger to his mouth. Don't answer, he whispered. Then every phone in the house began to ring. Mine. Melissa's. Chris's. The baby monitor. Even the old landline mounted in the hallway that Melissa swore didn't work anymore. All ringing at once. The sound filled the house until it became one long metallic scream. I backed away. The other me stepped closer. Behind him, in the open window, something pale gripped the sill. A hand. Then another. The other me started crying. I'm sorry, he said. It followed the signal. That was 3 days ago. The police found me walking barefoot on Harper Road at sunrise. My clothes were soaked through. I had no phone. No memory of leaving the house. Melissa, Chris, and Emma are still missing. There was no blood in the house when the police searched it. No broken windows. No signs of a struggle. Just every phone in the house sitting on the kitchen table. All of them dead. Except mine. They found it inside Emma's crib, fully charged. The only thing on it was a scheduled text, set to send tonight at 11:40 p.m. to my own number. I tried to delete it. I tried smashing the phone. I tried throwing it into the river. It came back this morning on my nightstand, dry and clean, with one new message already typed, but not sent. 3 words. Don't go home.